Good morning. Good. It's fine. So it says when we sing Him Alam Shalom, there's a Hebrew university student who asked him, where was God during the Holocaust? So his professor answered him, Hashem was carrying out what Hashem said in the Torah. Parshat B'chukotai, Parshat Kitavo, Parshat Ha'azinu. It all says big calamities, hair-raising curses that will befall the Jewish people, God forbid. And indeed, we went through it: the destruction of two temples, Beit HaMikdash, the Crusades, the Inquisition, the Cossacks, the Holocaust. So Hashem takes the Torah very seriously. We should also. So the Torah warns us what would happen if what will come if we don't take our responsibilities seriously. The Torah says, if you despise my statutes and not do the mitzvot, hunger, disease, enemies, fear, a sword avenging, a covenant, the sound of rustling leaf will pursue them. And you will go mad from the sight of your eyes you shall see. It's all written in the Torah. We're all warned. If only we would take this warning seriously, we will be spared from all these tragedies. And then Hashem says, if you follow my decrees, I will give you rain in the right time, the land will give its produce, I will give peace in the land, the enemies will fall before you. Rabbeinu Tam used to read the blessings, the curses of Parshat Kitavo every day. Why? Because they're a covenant, a brit between us and Hashem. And it says, these are the words of the brit, besides for the covenant that we did in Chorev, in Sinai. At Sinai, Hashem made a work contract between us and Hashem. We are the workers, He is our employer. And then Hashem made another contract on top. That what? That delineates the payment and delineates the fines. So we have to read this contract. How can you work for somebody you don't read the contract? You show up to work, and you say, oh, I didn't know. What do you mean you didn't know? You signed the paper that says this is what's going to happen. So we got to read what the contract says. Today, many people sign contracts. They don't even read what it says. But we have to read the Torah before we go out there and do the work. So look at the contract. What does it say? If you observe to do the mitzvah, then Hashem will make you supreme over the nations of the earth. If you do not observe all His mitzvot, then the curses will overtake you. Some people say, says Yagen, I'm a Jew at heart. I believe. That's not enough. The Torah says you got to do. To do what? All His mitzvot. All? I don't know. Maybe I could pick and choose. And let me tell you, my friend, says Yagen, you got some wax in you got to clean it out. What do you mean, some? Pick and choose. You got to do all the mitzvot. And we got to do them without exception. Some people think, listen, if I give tzedakah, so Hashem will slide me a pardon for this that I, don't do this other mitzvah. Because I have such a good heart, so then Hashem will forgive me for this that I will do this and this sin. And I don't keep this mitzvah and that mitzvah. Even though I don't put on tefillin, but at the end of the day, I keep Shabbat, so that's good enough. No, person has to know, you cannot have holes in your mitzvah observance. Like imagine you buy today, sadly, you could buy jeans with holes in them. You could buy pants with holes in them, but you buy a shirt, you buy a coat for the winter, and it has holes all over. What is this? I'm not paying top dollar for this. So if you want God to give you the full reward, you want God to not give you these calamities, you have to make sure that your mitzvot don't have holes in them. Some people say they want their mitzvot to be holy. It has to be holy for kedusha, not holy with holes in them, right? Holy. So how many holes does it take for a can of food to rot? How many holes, missing bolts, does it take for a plane to crash? How many holes in a jacket for you not to buy it? So how can we take out a missing letter from the Torah? Chas v'shalom. And then it says, if you walk with me, Keri, I will walk with you, Keri. What does the Keri mean? Keri means happenstance. Person is looking for his relative, or, hi, nice to see you. I didn't really plan on seeing you. How do you want Hashem to be with you? If you're with Hashem, okay, I guess if I have time for the mitzvah, I'll do it. If I'm comfortable, I'm in the mood, I'll do it. So Hashem will say, if I'm in the mood and it happens to be, and if it works out, so I'll give you parnasah. But not that He's looking to give you, not for He wants to give you. So a person has to be that same way with the Kodesh Baruch Hu. So what happens? Sometimes Hashem has to give you a wake-up call, so you shouldn't be carry with Him. In the middle of the curses of Parshat B'chukotai, the Jews confess for their sins. They say, the long confession of Nissim Gaon. We say it at Yom Kippur. And they say our fathers and our forefathers also sinned, and they regret and they confess them. But what does it say in Parshat Bechokotai after they confess? More suffering, more tragedy. Why? Didn't they do confession? That should make it that all their sins should go away, all their tragedies should go away. But you know what Hashem says? Hashem says sometimes people say Teshuva, some people say they do vidui, and they're lying. And they're faking, they're pretending. Hashem says, you are lying, you have sinned in the past, the truth. You are sinning now and you plan on sinning in the future. If you continue to pray and say blessings without kavana, and dress modestly, and speak without, thinking about alchot lashon hara and lying. Hashem says, all this confession is nothing to me. Just because you punch your heart, on Yom Kippur and say, oh, I'm sorry, mehillah, and Hashem says, this was not real. So the pasuk is telling us that even if you do all the actions, it has to be real, it has to be meaningful. Else, it continues. Hans Shalom. And then the Chofetz Chaim used to say, some people they clap the heart. He says it's like the guy selling flour in the market. They used to sell the flour in bags, and everyone would bring their own bag. So when he would want to stuff the bag, he would punch it. He would punch it to fit more. Chaz Shalom, we don't want to be those people who are punching our heart as if to say, I want to fit more inside. So I'm punching it inside, so I can more guno could fit inside. Chaz Shalom. Person has to punch, and the punching is not the main thing. The punching is supposed to wake up and make us realize we have to be sincere. As Parshat Kitavo says, with the blessing curses, right afterwards, it has the commandment, Timched Zecher Amalek. Why does it say Amalek right after the blessing and the curses? Look at the word, it says Asher Karecha Baderech, where it goes and he chanced upon you. What does it mean? It means when you take upon yourself to serve Hashem properly and sincerely, dedicated, so then Amalek has no power over you. But why did Amalek take over you? Because you took Hashem as happenstance. You took Hashem, if I have time, if I have a chance, you take Hashem chili bili, Chas v'shalom. So therefore, that's when Hashem says, I send on you the Amalek. So Keri also means impurity and coldness. Serving Hashem through happenstance, if it works out, if I'm in the mood, if I like it today or not, that's impurity and coldness to Hashem. But a person who wants real devotion and real closeness to Hashem, warmth, needs to be dedicated, he needs to push, he needs to remind himself constantly, I need to serve Hashem through and throughout. And what? Amalek wants to make you weak and lazy. Amalek represents attacking us when we are down and not serious about dedication to Hashem. So therefore we have to realize all these things. You got to read the contract, you got to read the fine print, you got to read the fines. What happens if you don't go and fulfill what it says? And the reason for the curses, it says, because you did not, the Parshat Kitavo says, for this you did not serve Hashem with joy and gladness. What happens? So obviously, we keep the mitzvot. You get up in the morning, you pray. Sometimes you feel like you have to. Sometimes you don't want to eat bread. Why? Because you don't want to say Birkat Hamazon. I want to read. I want to eat and say Borei Nefashot and just leave, right? But the question is, why are we like that? Why are we not serving Hashem with joy? So Rabbi, fine. I don't want to get cursed. So fine. I want to do the mitzvot. But it's so annoying. It's such a burden. If it's a burden, that means you don't know what the mitzvah is. The famous mashal where the guy came to the hotel. He told the bellhop, bring my luggage upstairs. So they brought his luggage upstairs and he's sweating. Can I have a nice tip? Why are you sweating? He says, it's a heavy luggage, my friend. He says, no, this is not my luggage. It's the wrong luggage. He says, why? He says, I'm a diamond dealer. It should be very light. What did you carry? He opened it. He saw power tools inside. He said, oh, this is not my luggage. If a person feels that mitzvot is a burden, then my friend, this is not a mitzvah. You got the wrong luggage, my friend. If you really would know it's a mitzvah and what a mitzvah means, you would feel like diamonds to you. It would feel so light for you. It would be with such joy you would go do the mitzvot. But what? You don't really know what a mitzvah is. Imagine a guy comes to you, invest in this building. It's $10 million, $20 million. Why would I invest there? What's there? Choyestan. Hey, leave me alone. But then I come to you and I tell you, no, you don't understand. This $20 million is going to give you $40 million. You look how many foot traffic there is here. Look how many units. It's almost at capacity anyways. Look at the location. And I explain to you and I show you why you should invest. So, now I feel excited about investing. Now I feel like giving my money away. Now I feel like working hard. So why for the business you say you gotta do research and you gotta invest and you gotta look into it. How come the mitzvot is not any different? I mean, how come the mitzvot you don't get? I don't know what this mitzvah means. Moving on with my life. No, open it up, invest, and check what do research over there. Just like you do research your business, do research your mitzvot. And when you do research your mitzvot, then you'll see there'll be a no-brainer to serve Hashem. It'll be a no-brainer. You'll feel the shefa, you feel the light, you feel the connection, and you will fulfill what it says in the contract, and we will have the blessings, and we'll be able to do what King David said, to serve Hashem. If do it Hashem, b'simcha, to fulfill Hashem, to serve Hashem with joy. If you don't know, that means you didn't study. You got to study, you'll find the joy. Baruch Hashem.